Okay, so yesterday I tried casting with some pretty hot aluminum in my Delft Clay mold that came with the unit, and as you can see it burned to hell and it's kind of imperfect. I wasn't unable to cast because I was running horizontally and just was going in and stopping rather than going through. So I thought if I could run these things vertically somehow, maybe I'd be able to get more gravity to help out my situation. So doing away with this for now, what I decided to do was go to Home Depot and find some things that represented shapes for a mold. So what I'm going to do is take these two components that are pretty thick steel, they'll be a little bit heavier duty this time, and I'm going to tack weld these together so it makes sort of a box. And then I'm going to cut it in the middle so I have two halves, and then I'll have two nice pieces that can fit back together like a box, and then I'm going to use this stock to wrap around the edges to get a nice registration so it stays together, and it will always go back together. If I bend this as a 90, pop rivet it on there, when I put the mold together it will stay so it won't slide around on top of itself. So my first step for this is going to be to grind down the edges and get ready to tack weld this. I'm probably just going to overlap them like that, so you have a rounded edge here and the nice square edge up here, and the same over here, square edge and rounded edge. So now I've got these pretty well set. That'll work. So, what you see, there's a few tack welds on this side, a few on that side. What I'll do now is try to cut this in half. I got this problem where I don't really have any way to tie this into that to hold it into place on my saw, so I've got these holding it against there for now. I know what you're saying, I'm going to cut right through these if I go. I'm going to start the hole, flip the project, and then keep going around successively. So I just want to double check that where I started this, where that groove is, I want to make sure that it's actually going to miss my hole here. Alright, that looks about right. It's pretty clean so far. So close though, it's actually starting to cut through the bottom side of that. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, see there? It's almost there. This is cut off now. I don't need to worry about the rough side because the two good sides are what's going to go together in the end, like this. I'll clean that up a little bit later on the belt sander, but first what I'll do is just trim off this circle part here now. This I'll just touch up real quick. What I've got now is my two halves. Actually gonna go this way. So now what we'll do is we'll have a casting, this will go together, and smooth these out a little more. Drill the holes, pop rivet it, make a nice little rectangle like this. Okay? now we've got our seams nice and square here. They're nice and true to each other. I'm going to touch these up a little more with a grinder to get some of these rough edges off the inside first, but basically, yeah, that's the majority of it there. I'm pretty happy with this so far. What I'm going to try to do is put the brackets I'm going to make, I'm going to form those to be true 90 degrees and then put those on the two 90s. Hell, I may end up putting 4 brackets on here. I don't know how it's going to work yet. But anyways, what I'm going to do first is just grind down some of these, the welds on here. And to do that, I'm going to do those on the bench grinder and then clean these up a little bit. And then we'll start drilling some holes and pop riveting the brackets. Now you can see I've shined those up and got them pretty clean 90s now, and at least I know my welds are good because they went all the way through where they were tacked. So I'm pretty confident that that's going to last a while. You can see that I got full penetration on those seams. What I'm going to do is start from this hole, measure 3 inches. Okay, now I'm going to cut this real quick. Okay, so I went ahead and cut these up off camera, and I basically just cut them to 3 inches and then drew my line down the center. So now I have my mark where I'm going to bend it. I'm just using this to get a nice hard line in it. I've got a good starting point for a bend. Since I don't have a large vise with a deeper throat on it, I'm going to throw these in here, and this will be able to keep it nice and flat on one side while I pound it down. That'll be close enough. Once I get it on there, I'll straighten it up. That's pretty good for 90, especially since what I'm doing is really just to hold 2 corners together. It's not like it has to be 100% accurate 90-degree situation here. This just gives me something to hold on to this by the other side so it stays flat. They're both really pretty much the same, but there you go. Good. So now let's see what we can do about clamping these on and drilling out some holes for the rivets. Is what I need to do now to make sure I can hold all this stuff together really good while I drill it, and I don't want it to move. So what I can do is clamp these up, put them in here, and drill, and everything will stay true. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about that. Okay, so my first instinct is to do a 1/8 by 1/8 inch because this material is just under that. And with that, I figure that gives me enough, but I don't want a whole bunch of crap hanging out on the inside. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this. And if this one isn't long enough, I'll pull it and go for a longer one, but I'd rather stick to smaller first. Okay, so let's try this rivet. 1/8 inch by 1/8 inch pop rivet. Alright, we're looking down on it. Here it is, going in the hole. Not sure if that's going to be enough meat. Okay. It's not too bad. It's a little bit more than I'd like, but it doesn't really matter. So with that, I say I'm going to drill the next hole now. That's the one side. So I'm gonna just, now that I know that this is good, go ahead and clamp this shit back together again. Here. Looking pretty good. I think that'll work. Yeah, you can't see that. I don't know, maybe I do want it on all four sides. Or at least just one that comes down flat here. Live and learn, I don't know. I don't really know what I want to do here, so we'll see. Alright, so I went ahead and made some more of these with what I had left over. I got one already clamped in here. Yep, that's gonna be real nice. Just make sure this is nice and firm down this way. There we go. I think we're about done with that. Now we just gotta do the top holes where I'm going to pour from, which is obviously going to cut into some of my rivets, but that don't matter. So, one last rivet. Yeah, see, that's got much less play in it. I have to really work it. So now all I have to do is get it set up and just hit these guys in just a little bit to tighten it up. I guess I'll do it right up in here. I might hit this one rivet, but that's alright. I'm going to trace this out. Somewhere like that. So what I'll do is clamp it all together and then start with a small hole in the middle, and we'll just keep going bigger and bigger until I get it to the size I want. And we'll just start with a small hole. Make it bigger and bigger. And I don't have a drill press, so alright, I'm gonna go sideways so it doesn't spin. Maybe I'll need to stand on it this time. I'll start with the reamer now. That's it. That's all I got. It's my biggest bit. That's what I'm limited to for now. I guess I could just work that with the grinder, but it's a pretty good start. I'm gonna go ahead and grind that off though since I'm at it. Oh, that's a nice fit. This doesn't wiggle at all. It doesn't wiggle at all. And then you can separate it. You'll pour through the top. Okay, so to finish this off, I'm gonna just try using my grinder. So now I'm just going to hit this on the grinder. It's just to tighten these up a little bit. Get these in. That way this should sit in here nice and snug. There you have it. That's going nowhere. It's pretty good. It's nice and smooth. I'll probably end up hand sanding this just so it looks a little bit nicer even still. But yeah, that's it. Next, like I said, next video that we do, we'll be using it. So hopefully it works good. Thanks for watching.